다 다낭아도 되네 장주 샘기 규 아니 잠바당 닝제 그걸 단도르도 제냐 모두 이츠도 아니 휴sem바제 안다 단다 추든데라 또 에네야테네 장주 샘 히바 다 디기 콜라 에네야테네 도르도 지휘아이.
So for the morning session, we talked about the cause for giving rise to bodhicitta, and we said that the cause for bodhicitta is first generating loving kindness and compassion. So I gave a brief presentation about that. So now for the afternoon, we're going to talk about bodhicitta itself.
다 lecture 지게도 아니 bodhicitta 다때 벽에 요나 아니 장첩 샘 어다 저당 장첩 세다 책니요래 장세나 아니 다 빵자 타다 빵와 이러와 배는 요몽바 타다 장힘 어더니 즉 희지게다 추 탐제 마힌 바 짝장매 봐 희지게 추 두숨기 아니 희지게 추 타다 무슨도 아니야 캔댕게들라 아니 첩스 콩도 첩스 어다대 답은이야 되네 장첩시비도 되래.
So in Sanskrit, the term for bodhicitta is bodhicitta. In Tibetan, we say jangchup ki sem. So this first word, jangchup, this has two parts. So the first one is jang. So what does jang mean? Jang means to purify or to clear away. So what is it we need to purify or clear away or abandon? These are all the afflictions. And the second syllable is chup. And what does chup mean? Chup means to come to truly realize, to truly see all phenomena of the three times, all things that can be known. So this is the etymology of jang chup.
다드네 샘파스 샘파스 주드네 샘시라게 에네야드네 빠침 보여 봐 직다 되네 봐 아니야드네 샘게 에네 다 가레나 에네 배치 톱그네 삼베 베카타 로톱 쳔보 로코 쳔보 제가 에네야드네 샘파스 다드 가레서나 에네 샘 간데스 파워레서나 로망게 타세 단 로아 켜는 샘젤 타다니요 말스 배낭가는 소체 잠불랭들 삼모타나 다 메다 뇽뇽레 잠불랭게 메 동조 둔주라 아치 마도 요 말스 장가자나 자투야 요르스 어때네 다 이나양 샘제 현다 즉 돈조 땅 무슨 나도 통투백 샘제 안 통마토베 에네야드는 샘제 저 장마 봐요라세 난 산다고 지금 오바 이나야 뒤나는 무슨 가수 장가다니 요 말았어 다저다 샘제 타다니 요 말았어 이나양 장습 샘비 가르 샘게 요르스나 타메베 샘제 적경 말로 봐 나랑 직부게 에네야드네 대화 담바 라나메베 대화 담바라 되는 나랑 고기 세게 and Sam didn't in their go yours. That is Sam power was. Sam Shita, that's what it was. Checked it.
So then for the second part of this word, so here maybe moving to Bodhisattva. So this Bodhi is the jangchup, and then we have this Sampa. So what is the last part, this Pa? This Pa means someone who is very courageous or very brave, someone who is without fear, someone who has a lot of fortitude. So in what way or why does one need to have this brave mind to be this bodhisattva? Because we speak about beings as being innumerable. If we look at the world in terms of just the humans, this isn't a very large number of beings, actually, relatively speaking. We're about, 7 billion or so? I mean, you can pretty much count. We have some idea, more or less, of how many humans there are in the world. But if we look to other kinds of sentient beings, even the sentient beings we can see, so the animals, included within the animals, the insects, we know that these are, we have to say, pretty much countless in number. I mean, you just dig a little bit of earth up and you see that there are nearly countless insects to be found under just one small piece of earth. So the bodhisattvas need this courageous mind, this fortitude, this courage, because they take on this vow that they are going to remain in samsara until all these countless sentient beings, until every last one of them are established in the highest state of well-being, which is the state of Buddhahood. So we need to be able to think like that. We need the kind of mental fortitude that allows us to take this consideration up. So this is why we say that they are brave or have such great fortitude.
다 양 생이 니바데. 되네. 간망기 연세. 다베 심진 타메비 심제 대탐제 아니 탈독이 되네 대화 담바고 발라 되게 시작인 걸 그래. 되게 에네 론다고 있으면 답변된 동줄 그까지 요 말에 장매 바래. 너나 에네 다 되게 에네 되네 까르바 망부게 에네 되네 다 받은 거나양 개발면서 아니 샘제지 동ар 세브라치긴 세비게 아니 로직 개고요.
So this the numberless sentient beings is one aspect or one reason you need this mind of fortitude or this great courage. The second reason is the length of time you are vowing to engage in this activity. And we say the bodhisattvas are willing to do it for many countless kalpas. Kalpas meaning eons, very long spans of time. So you can imagine if one needs to establish every last sentient being in the state of perfect Buddhahood, it's going to take quite a long time to do that. And we're not talking about merely like 100 million years or several hundred million years. We're talking about time that's even longer than that. So we can say time without end. But still, they are undaunted by this task, undaunted by the number of beings, undaunted by the amount of time they're going to have to perform this activity. So that's why they say again, another reason, the second reason we say that they are so brave. They're willing to work to eradicate the suffering of all sentient beings, regardless of the number of beings or how long it takes.
Dene yang sumpadela chakabeke lela pa mehumpa. Chakawase atpe 장줍기 좁아 카게 빼면서 비깔래 가고 요랬어. 다 투비야 뭐 가능 소리나 빼 투비 말했어. 빼나이야 장줍 셈바체게 눈도 아니 셈제제게 은혜야 다 코랑 결한게 내 라바데 다당할 나로 지세나 태좀매빠 가게 쪼히도 있냐 때토봐. 결한게 맥데 다당할 나로 지세나 태좀매빠 가게 쪼기 있네 때토봐. 되는 결한게 뿌고 빼 이해도 그 뿌고 지요나 때 다당할 거기도 날 때였으나 태좀매빠 때토봐. 따뜻하게 가보러 와 내가 돼. 수직 톱게 말아. 다 됐다고 걔네 야트는 장줍 그 좁아 빼 깔래 가보. 여봐. 대소래 빼 빠힘바 매봐. 얘네 야트는 쭈토봐. serious.
Then the third aspect, the third reason one needs this incredibly strong fortitude or courage in mind is they have to engage in a lot of difficult activity, the bodhisattvas do. And they do so without shrinking from it. So the type of activity the bodhisattvas have to engage in is rather inconceivable. We can't even imagine being able to do these types of things. So for example, if someone comes in front of a bodhisattva and has some true need, like for their arm, and they say, I need you to give me your arm, the bodhisattva, not only without hesitation does the bodhisattva give the arm, but with great joy and enthusiasm can a bodhisattva give an appendage of his body. If someone has a true need for one's eye, someone comes and begs the Bodhisattva's eye, without hesitation, with great joy and enthusiasm, can he give his own eye? If he has a cherished child that one person needs for some reason, he could give up even a loved one like this with great joy and enthusiasm. So bodhisattva conduct is inconceivably difficult, and they need this fortitude of mind to be able to engage in it without shrinking from these difficult tasks.
Tanda sangye chomdende ki ye tang yong la Shariputra ta mod gati pose ane nyendu ta dachomba nyindwas ane ye jo te Sharipus ta te sangye chomdende ki kor ti nyendu tamche ke nang hirap chehyu tere pemi hirap ngone tan samje metwa hirap chembores kong ane ya tene ngema ane tene pe kalpa mangbu rengla ane changjup semba res changjup semba ane changjup semba ki chopa chepe nekap su ane tamse ta mechek lebne ane ke kerang ke lakpa yeba te tadangal kudu nangro chis longmo longwa res tato meba gahi toki lakpa yeba che ne ane lakpa yeba te che ne lakpa yomba te ke te dal ko te korwa lakpa yeba che sato ta lakpa yeba ke te yomarwa lakpa yeba te che ne lakpa yomba te ke ane doks te pares teto kola ene ya tene ti trangbo te ke ha yagar ke lukso la yomba ke doks te ne nyepchu res magu pares kare na je kare te ko na lakpa yang na ni pa lakpa ni ka te ko yor le yang na lakpa yeba ke te yang na lakpa ni ka ndo ku pa je te ko yor ta ko lakpa yeba che sa yor te lakpa ni ka che ya yor ma ta lakpa yomba te ke ene doks te pares te do ene ko tik pa san ha kerang ngal pe magu ba chen lakpa yombe ke te songs nga me ko ko me doks labare ane kong sem pamne oh ta changjup ki chopa se jute pe me se kale khaba doks nge lakpa yeba che sa to ko nge lakpa yomba ma te rang de ra ba gar chena ta dig me doks ko changjup chopa gar chena ko mandik de ba ji yor ta te pe kale khaba doks ne changjup sem bi ki chopa changjup sem te lu tang ba re Shariputra
When we see images of the Bhagavan Buddha, we see that to his right and his left are two of his principal disciples. So to his right stands Shariputra, to his left stands Mudgaliputra. And Shariputra, we say, among all the disciples, the retinue of the Buddha, he was the one with the highest prajna, or this discerning intelligence, highest prajna, almost like wisdom. So for a long time, Shariputra engaged in the path of a bodhisattva, actually. And in one of his incarnations, he was born as an individual, and he was approached by a Brahmin, or he was the called drum set, drum set left song.
Sure.
The Sharipu. Kewa ngomala, kewa drum set.
Ma kewa ngama tamse me Shariputra korang da changju sem barwa.
Long.
Longmo longge de tamse chilo.
Lawson. So the beggar that came to this previous incarnation of Shariputra was a Brahmin. And this Brahmin says, I have need for your right arm. So without hesitation, full of joy, Shariputra immediately cuts off his right arm and gives it to the Brahmin. Now, to understand the story, you have to know that in India, whenever you're going to give in ancient India, when you're giving something to somebody, best case is you would do it with both hands, very respectfully offering it to somebody, right? If you can't give it with both hands, then you give it with your right hand. You would never give somebody something with your left hand. That's considered really disrespectful. But I mean, he just already cut off his right arm, right? He said he needed his right arm. So he cuts off the right arm, and you can't give somebody your right arm with your right arm. So he takes his left hand, and he grabs his right arm, and he gives it to this beggar. And the beggar gets angry. He's like, ha! Why are you being so disrespectful to me? You know, you're giving me your arm with your left hand. That's like, now I don't want it. Forget about it. And in that moment, in Shariputra's mind, he thinks, oh, this bodhisattva conduct, it's so difficult, you know? I mean, I cut off my right arm. How am I supposed to give him my right arm with my right arm? And it really is so difficult to engage in authentic bodhisattva conduct, so he gets discouraged. And because he gets discouraged and thinks he can't engage in it, it's said that he like loses his bodhisattva vow. This breaks his vow of the bodhisattva.
다티네 어동스레다 장줍게 좁아서 줬더니 당원에 전에 샘라 빠요봐 에네 저 텔렌주르와 매봐 에네 된다지글에네 다 장줍 샘바스 샘바스야 되게 돈다레스 다티네 다낭아 종에 휴바나게 다당아낭수 에네 샘데 당아 마도 히라기 셴베 로트다 현동 로트 야침보요마 다디 파야 체르 동네 아니 장줍 샘베게 몰람낭라야 되다 요레스 지시 남가 내바당스 남가 내세야 다 남가 따고 내내레 다 빼레스 아니 남가 마식기 파르도 샘제 타단 좀 말레스 샘제기 타 마조지 파르도 다 샘제 땅 냠도라 내내 샘제라 로파치기 샘제기 때네 펜바당 대와 줍게 샘제 루땅 means 안 샘제 탐제는 야트는 다 대화 탐바 탑송나 아는 가는 알수네 에네 데베 콤방라 데기스 다 몰라미나야 대답을 되기 어렸어 다 대답을 찍을라 샘파 세약 돈다 되래.
So we can see that to engage in like authentic, perfect bodhisattva conduct in a very stable and unwavering way is incredibly difficult. And for those who can do it, or this is why we say that they are these sempa, they have this very courageous mind, or this mind of great fortitude. So as we said this morning, now our sense of I is so strong, we have a hard time engaging in thinking of benefiting others and have a hard time raising altruistic thoughts. But we need to begin. Now we don't have maybe very strong familiarization with it, but we need to increase it as best we can. And there are other aspects of this bodhisattva conduct which are shown in the prayers that the bodhisattvas make, the aspiration prayers the bodhisattvas make. So one of them says, for as long as the sky remains. So what does that mean, for as long as the sky remains? The sky is always going to remain, right? This means forever, basically. I am going to remain in samsara to help, to be of benefit, to establish all sentient beings in happiness. I am never going to give up on them. And then, once all sentient beings have been established in the ultimate happiness, only then will I relax and allow myself to attain this ultimate happiness and well-being. So it's because of conduct like this, because of these kinds of profound and extensive aspirations, we say that these bodhisattvas have this great fortitude or courage.
다 장줍 셈세 코나라 아니 군접 장줍 셈당 돈담 장줍 셈세 다 예와처나 니요레 아니 군접 장줍 셈텔라 드니 몬빅 셈당 죽빅 셈세 니요바레 아니 모족 니께 거타는 게 도르두지 있는 휴인스 돈담 장줍 셈 남자 안책잖아 상행으로도 있는 야대세 현초레스.
So that's the definition of a bodhisattva, sort of the defining characteristic or the etymology of the bodhisattva, the word bodhisattva in Tibetan. And now to turn back to bodhicitta, for bodhicitta we say there are two types of bodhicitta. There's relative bodhicitta and absolute bodhicitta, these two. And further, within relative bodhicitta, we have aspiration bodhicitta and application bodhicitta, these two. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this relative bodhicitta now, and then tomorrow we'll have time to talk about ultimate bodhicitta.
다 문빅 셈세야 가르세나 다 될 술니 다 돈다니 게 톤로고 요레스 아니 남가당 냠베 셈지 탐제기 돈도 샘제나 맥바 샘제 탐제 돈도 아니 다 타르토기 대와 아니야 드네 조페상게지 공방는 뭐지 되니 아니 다게 드퍼차기 터퍼차기 냠베게 로다 되니 아니라 드네 몸백셈 시빅도
Aspiration Bodhichitta has two critical points. Two things need to be included in our Aspiration Bodhichitta. The first point is it needs to be directed towards all sentient beings. So all sentient beings that fill all of space for their benefit. That's the first point. The second point is I must realize the precious state of complete and perfect Buddhahood, which is the ultimate happiness. So these two, reflecting on for the benefit of all sentient beings and directing your mind towards attaining perfect Buddhahood.
다 몸비게 샘데 깨바 썸게게 에네야 드는 페용도 썸게메 잡아 요래 다 히나양 모셈 찍부 깨네 에네 다 죽방 우스 에네야 드는 장주 그 좁아 에네 냠수 말랑 라레 마단나 에네 상게지 건방 톱톱빅 탑된 요 말에 다 펜나 뭐랑서 디네 에네 다 뉴욕 라 에네 ndrogi 상니 뉴욕 라 ndrogi 만도 탑면도 내버든 ndrogi 삼비그 로데 당보제 거봐 로데 지네 되는 무슨 다 에네가도 남준다 카레나 지금 때네 에네야 되는 무슨 ndro고 거봐 ndro네 되네 랩게와 다음 대마도 앙아상니 뉴욕 라 ndrogi 말람 탐도 삼 무슨 만도 에네도 강배나 데 샤냐 되나 뉴욕 가두나 랩게 말와 그 로자이 탐발 에네 소도 냐다 냐네 에네 강배나 데데 내가 뉴욕 간도인 랩나 삼 에네 마소나 랩게 말와 에네 야다 뉴욕 간도발 로팅 모두 게 거와 로인 sabbe 로 마제바 삼로탄 마들바 뉴욕 간도 말와 로투게 말 랩게 말 오페 대신도 아니 다 정주 몸베게 샘드 게네 되는 무스 다 샘제게 되네 펜바 대바 무스 라네 단 드 정주 그 쪼바 빼나 바로 드침바 쪽 라소바 다 대주게 거네 아니 샘제게 아니 펜바다 대바 무스 랑게 루당 나게 이 대스음지 거네 아니야 죽버치 바텔라 아니 죽베게 샘스 다 몸바 건도 땅네 에네 다 죽베게 에네 티네 죽바 장죽지 샘게네 에네 디게 에네 랍자테서 랍바텔라 에네 죽베게 샘스그래 안데 죽베게 샘텔때 랍자텔라 에네 냠도 랑발 때네 에네 상제지 고망 톱도 그래
So merely by giving rise to this wish, this aspiration bodhicitta for the benefit of all sentient beings, I must attain the state of perfect Buddhahood, there is incredible benefit just to formulating this wish. However, if you just formulate the wish and then don't do anything about it, you're not going to fulfill that intention. So that's aspiration bodhicitta. Now, application bodhicitta is actually doing something about that wish. This is actually taking up the practices that are going to accomplish your wish. So, for example, let's say that you have the wish to go from here to New York. Let's say you want to go tomorrow and you think, oh, I absolutely must go to New York. It's very important that I go to New York. If you just have this in your mind and don't do anything about it, you can keep that wish in your mind for 100 years. And if you just stay in your house, laying on your bed, you're never going to arrive to New York. So through that example, we can see that just the wish, just having this aspiration bodhicitta isn't enough. So when you actually do things to get yourself to New York, such as, looking into a plane ticket, getting yourself a plane, and you actually go, well, then of course you will finally arrive to New York. So you have to have both of these. You have to have the wish, because if you never had the wish in the first place, then of course you'll never arrive to New York. It's like any work you engage in won't have any direction, won't have any aspiration behind it. So you need to have both of these together. So back to the bodhicitta, first you have this wish to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Then you need to start doing things about that. You need to start engaging in the conduct of a bodhisattva. You need to practice to establish beings in happiness, to benefit sentient beings. We do this through practices such as the 6 perfections or the 6 paramitas, through which we can benefit beings. We need to start engaging our body, speech, and mind in the conduct of a bodhisattva. And through doing that, we say this is the application bodhicitta. So in these teachings, there is like advice about what one should do. So we take this advice to heart, we take it up, and we start to work for the benefit of beings. And through this, we can progress to Buddhahood.
다 몸바당 죽비게 ene 셈데 ane chekta kibu tamba an changjup ki sem ene tokyo la ngabeke ene lama gebe hinye chepar to paupeke done ngusu ane changjup sembeke domba de ngarang to yangne yangdo lenju kechembore de len pemse peyon chembo yore tene ta nang 진득직 라마 게베 희니 긴든드 렘베게 네 라메게 네 튼지 마상나 튼지 매나 아랑 개발요 말에 소주게 다 든지 남가라 이나 자와던 규백 라마 탐제당 상제다 창줍 삼바 탐제 ngosum도 쇼유 삼바제네 안 되게 든드 아니 소주식 릉아 예숨 개발던 제바 탐제 야 초바풀 아니 차살 제야라 듬베 그거네 ene 초사 엔 초사네 되네 든지 남가 에네야 다 잡요때다 남지게 든도 에네 랑예게 에네 다 단당에 쉬바나게 다 셈제 탐제지 돈도 에네 상제지 고망 탑으로 차기 에 대톱네 에네야 되는 내 셈제 탐제라 에네 펜바다 대바 줍게 되게 최도 아는 랍제 창줍 그 좁아 아니 코르바 마동지 파르도 아니 창줍 그 좁아 대다 탐절랑에 랍기 냠수 랭기 삼비게 배닝 타바네 안 도스 삼로땅 아니 지금 논잔다고 저는 말도 저 창줍 닝보 취지 발상제 남다 잡도 제스다 가서 모두 나를 여봐지 때네 아니 저도 다 로마 낭바 닝바스 대도 캥그래 다들 논자도 너 맞dob나야 샘도 샘래 단다 샘게 됐다고 꾸농 배 흉천보 적게 터바이나 아니 소수기 줘라 장주샘게 에네 돈바데 톱 용요라서 장주샘게 돈바 톱 산마 타도 아니 소소 랑예네 다 장주샘발라 겨sem바레 장주샘발라 저 소수게 올레 당보배 장주샘바당 아니 저 사토베 장주샘바데 고 장주샘발라 렘바 망보요라서 안 강다른 가능소에는 야티네 샘 베타 고농 샘 상보때 에 가두에나 에나테 샘때 게 참마 타도 아니 땅 가능도 진짜 장주 샘바 샘마 라 에네 줄 샘바레스
So the way that we embark on this training of a bodhisattva, the way we approach this aspiration and application bodhicitta, is first we need to meet an authentic being, a master who has trained in and mastered bodhicitta, and from this guru, spiritual friend, we can receive the bodhisattva vow. It's very beneficial and it's very important to take this vow again and again. There is incredible benefit that comes from doing so. So even if you don't have the conditions to receive the vow, whether it's from time to time you want to take the vow and you don't have a lama or a spiritual friend from whom you can receive it, that's okay. There's a way to do it on your own. You just imagine that in the sky before you, you have the root and the lineage gurus, you have all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas there in the sky, and in their presence you imagine offering them your body, your speech, and your mind along with your merit. You perform the 7-branch prayer, these ways that we accumulate merit. And then in the presence of these objects of refuge, you make this wish, the Bodhisattva wish, which we've just covered, for the benefit of all sentient beings. So all sentient beings have to be included. I must attain the state of perfect Buddhahood. In order to establish these beings in the ultimate happiness and to be able to benefit them, I'm going to engage, I'm going to train in the Bodhisattva conduct. So if you do this, this is what it means to take the vow. And then once we've taken the vow, we need to embark on the training. Now there is a supporting liturgy to take the vow. It appears in the preliminary practice text, and many of you will know it. It begins with, until enlightenment I take refuge in all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Then you go on to say that you're going to train just as they have trained to give rise to this vow. So you can recite this formal prayer, or what's most important actually is one's intention or one's mind. So even if you don't know the prayer or don't have the prayer, as long as you're formulating this wish with all the proper components there, that suffices to take the Bodhisattva vow. So then having done so, you've become a Bodhisattva, we say. So there are many different kinds of Bodhisattvas. There are ordinary beginner Bodhisattvas, which is somebody who has taken the vow. And then there are also the Bodhisattvas who dwell on the Bodhisattva level. So these are realized Bodhisattvas. But having taken the vow, this makes you one of these ordinary beginning Bodhisattvas. So since you've become this, you need to then make sure that you are maintaining the proper motivation and that you start engaging in the conduct, the proper Bodhisattva conduct in a stable way.
다 장줍지 쌤 다당 아도 휴바는 장줍지 쌤 이현지 노르다부 림보체 때 랑게 쌤라 가두지 나양 다 장줍 쌤 빠레 아니 상제당 장줍 쌤바 나랑도 때는 싸왔다 뉴베 라마 탐제라 아니 다 톡니비게 아니 쇼바 탐제 그나네 아니 배 초드 겨바데 안다 장줍 쌤 듀를 깨봐 대바래 장줍 쌤 듀를 끼네 아니 장줍 쌤 이게 쪼바도 라바이나 다 상제 장줍 쌤바 탐제라 아니 초발라나 매바 대 요르고 요래 아니 상제 장줍 쌤바도 따주 라마 탐제 톡니가 요래 초발 요르고 요래 델라 때네 아니 소주기 전에 초 야첨보 싸 드바에는 야첨보에는 때네 다 두고 요래.
So as I said this morning, Bodhicitta is like a wish-fulfilling jewel. So anytime we give rise to this wish, or anyone who does give rise to this wish with all the proper components in place, becomes a male or female bodhisattva. And we say that the best way to please the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the root, and the lineage lamas or gurus is through generating this mind of awakening. We say that the best offering, that which pleases them the most, is giving rise to bodhicitta within ourselves. This is the highest offering, that which pleases them the most, thus it becomes an offering of sorts. And through this, through generating this mind of awakening, one accumulates vast quantities of merit, and one purifies a lot of obscurations.
And 장줍 쌤 넘버 2게 and 돈바데 그 니마르레 힌도에는 딱 빠르게 랑코레스 데 랑나 빼페용 전부 요레스 가den가랑 도양 참참라 안가랑 수제 공로당 해당당 아절당 차도 게 왕기 양 장줍 쌤게 돈바데 때에 있는 냠자 체요나양 따바르게 나도 장줍 쌤에 돈바랑나 양 냠바데야 손도 그랬어 마냥 바이나양 그 공내야 팬도 그랬어 아니 그배 니마레라 탱니 수면이야 되네 장주세백 dom바데 랑나양 배 렉백이 요데레 엔텔레 텀나 히타 페용치 버려요레.
So these two bodhicittas, the vow of these two bodhicittas, it's actually important that we do this every day because there's deep benefit from doing so. Because that it's true that within our life from time to time we fall under the sway of the afflictions, we get angry, we get aggressive, we come under the sway of pride or jealousy, whatever. And it's possible that when this happens, the vow of the bodhisattva can be slightly impaired. But if each and every day you take the vow, then this serves to restore any infractions to the bodhisattva vow. And even if you haven't compromised your bodhisattva vow by taking it every day, this enhances the power or enhances the benefit of it. So doing it every day is good. To do it 2 or 3 times is even better. There's a great benefit from doing so.
다 장줍 쌤게 아니 돈바데 마냥 바체네 장줍 쌤 림보치 다 몬빅 쌤당 죽베게 네 쌤게 돈바데 아니 랑네 아니 쌤 기땡도 아니 마냥 바네 힘비 깝텔라 다 소소는 뒤준도 이제 당게 독세 다 집에도 녀인다고 콕대대바나 다 장줍 쌤게 돈바 랑비게 페용데 아니 독세 빼 공내 공도 있네야 깨지 드레기도 야체로 패는 거래. penna enia penna ta ngandu ngol ndawo pun chenpo che enia tine ngugang nangla enia choksha ba na lokha che chira ta de ki che kan ndawo de enia ko nyama de hindo ina pende gre ngu korang da ta yo ka che di gang la ene tine che ka chikbu ki thone ene ngang so peche thowa ki tu gre pun chenpo che na pete nangye ene ngang so 장주 쌤지 돈바데 마냐바이나 엔티게 페용데 두다 남바거든 나도 예콕 대비 값을 있는다 에네 즉 다세 방매 그 잡한다고 도서 있는 것도 남양 나가 내 대비 있는다 에네 디 페용데 고게 지금 드르르르르 해도 야 펜도 송요데
So if once we've taken this Bodhisattva vow, if we don't impair it, then it's said that the two aspects of this vow, the aspiration and application bodhicitta, are sort of working for us all the time. They're increasing all the time. Even when you're not engaged in actual virtuous practice, if you're not impairing the vow and you've taken the vow and are maintaining it, then each and every moment, the benefits of it are sort of gaining momentum or becoming stronger and stronger without much effort. So that's the thing. So it's analogous to having a large sum of money that you can invest in a bank or in a company or something. So you take this large amount of money and you invest it, and what do you get from that? You get interest. And based upon this interest, for some, if the money is enough, just based upon that interest alone, you can live your life. So similarly, once you've taken the vow, if you don't impair it, then no matter what you're doing, that bodhisattva vow is sort of gaining interest or gaining momentum, or it's increasing in its efficacy. So if you're sleeping, if you're just distracted, even if you're not engaged in virtue, the benefits of having taken that vow are continuing to increase.
Dene ta 장주 dene ta sem deyang gede ende chekpe ta 단ang 아동한테 깨져 좋아나게 콩도 해당다고 지네 아니 셈젤 다 네, 셈젤 또 지금이 아디 견에네 레라고 집에도 깔래카고도 셈제 돈 지금이 삼백에 아니 로테 기바에나 안 대다 년가 첨보래 안 장주 셈제 돈바 냠바래 냠나 양 니맥 첨보 히라 요래 뺀나가도 미니 셈찍라 아니 키랑 로바 땡데 지긴다세 키랑 게 노바 카레 유낭에 로바 제 거세 키랑 카레 거능에 엔여 펜바 지기 라바이나 아니 메디 가기라와 다이나 니마 카이에서는 다 중에 로바치 메트 저런 펜바 두고 메트 다 중에 로바치 두고서 말해서 라바이나 아니 메트 셈 팜거라와 메트 루 땅셔 봐라 다 미니숨 찍라 나도 펜바 줍기 인슬라 네 엔테 펜바 마드나 아니 미니숨데 고셈 팜거래 셈 팜바 될 때네 나는 니맥 용거라와 다 장주 셈비 돈발랑도 셈제 제게만 셈제 탐제라이네 펜바 두게 안 셈제 탐제 키랑도 빼겐 롬보이스다 셈제 탐제겐 롬보이스 안 키랑 속에는 제다 군도 탐제에야 키랑도 돈바 탐제겐에 공개 인스 제네 안 셈제 탐제라인 또다 셈 제사도고 안다 셈도 냐바나 셈제 탐제에는 때다 배 고거 땅 왔다 볼게 에야 니바 용거라 와서 나도 삼로 땅나 땅제 제나 어때 니 받침 버렸다 다 제가 간주 장주 셈게 돈바 랑비기 제수 년가 체휴데 되네 셈제 루 메당스 다 셈제 루 땅와이나 아니 장주 셈게 돈바 싸와는 냠 그래 아니 셈제 루 마당 와이나 다 땅게다 골랍자 망보여데 다 셈제 루 마당나 아니 셈제 에네야 돈바데 냠가 말해
As we spoke about in the morning with in the context of bodhicitta, if we give rise to anger, or if we think about any particular sentient being, even if I have the chance, I'm not going to help you, not going to be of benefit to you, this impairs the vow, this breaks the vow of the bodhisattva. If you think, oh, this is just too difficult to do, I'll never be able to do this impairs our bodhisattva vow. So there's danger in this, and we need to be careful. There's actually a great harm if we give rise to such thoughts or fall sway to such thoughts. So for example, let's say we tell 2 or 3 people, whatever you need, I'm always going to be there for you, I'm going to help you, etc. And then maybe after a couple of days, we go back to these people, oh, forget about it, even if I can help you, I just can't do it, I'm not going to be able to do it. They're going to feel sort of tricked or sad, or they're going to be not happy about that, right? In the context of taking the Bodhisattva vow, we're not doing it to help 2 or 3 people, we're doing it to be of benefit, to help all sentient beings without exception. So if it's a fault to say this to 2 or 3 people, to sort of take back our promise, to help them no matter what they need, with whatever they desire, how much more so must that be true if we've taken a vow to help and be of service to all sentient beings without exception? We say we're going to treat all sentient beings as our guests. We're going to serve everybody. So of course, since we're now tricking or taking back our word in the context of all sentient being, there's a greater fault associated with this. So the greatest danger once we've taken the Bodhisattva vow is to give up or to abandon any sentient being. If we do this, it impairs the Bodhisattva vow. Now there are a lot of different aspects to the advice that one can give about how not to impair the Bodhisattva vow, but it all comes down to this. This is the most critical one, not abandoning a sentient being.
다 semjin lu madang wat ke cheyuje ene nipadela 다 장줍 셈게 베게 페용데 나도 두윤도 네 삼로 양네 양도 땅주 게 쳐버렸어 페용데 하고바이나 페용데 히바이나 ene 장줍 셈라 쪼바용 그랬어 장줍 셈 깨발 데 쪼바용 그랬어 제가 장줍 셈게 페용데 ene 양네 양도 삼주 게 쳐버치제 아니 니네 현도 니마 따바래게 다행에 공도 휴바나게 아니 장줍 셈게 돈바데 아니 소소랑니게 양네 양도 네트네 렘버치 바데 아니 개침 부차가 요랬어 다들 랍자래 랍자조 장줍 셈 마냠비게 랍자데 담 제당 랍자 망보 요 랍자 조섬 네.
So that's the first one, never to abandon sentient beings. So this is all in the context of the advice for engaging in bodhisattva training. The second piece of advice is to, again and again, every day, to think about the benefits of giving rise to bodhicitta. If we repeatedly do this, if we can familiarize ourselves with the benefits that come from engendering bodhicitta, we'll have more joy in doing so and greater enthusiasm to do so. So it's important to think about this every day, again and again. And the third piece of advice is, every day, to take the Bodhisattva vow again and again. So there's a lot of advice that can be given, but it can all be boiled down to these 3 points.
다 강다량 아니 다 장줍게 아니 샘데 아니 교라 계주도 계쳐보체 되네 두견을 다 계체규 저랑서 두견도 책자는 내려버려 두견도 밑에당도 나도야 랑네 나도야 랑마타도 아니 소소 그 자위 라마 제수 템바체 라마 제네스 다 예메 시도도 곰 다 샘게 먹바들 그게 직접 곰 삼로당 엔텐도도 다 데른 네 ene lunga yesumji kone semje suchula ene ene yatene nobatang nobike ene tini le ene tawanin chigmi sambar semje 탐제 ngranke 펜바다 대와 강톱도 ene tini 줍게 이냐베게 다 텐데 ene 로직이 텐데 로직이 터바이나 다 단다디 그 뉘반다고 잖아 semje tin나는 창고 열었어 텐데 따때 거 제발라 두조 그 가만히 책니섬 때마다 거기 말았어. 때는 소소 레가래 니몬도 아니 참참나 대희대 대희 바이오스 주게 첨보셔다데 대희대 아니 다낭아동에 내도 샘게 바이 샘게 바낭히 아니 나랑 그 룽아 예스음디게 아니 샘제 로바치기 도하면도 펜바드고 도하면도 안테 따제 대 지지 텐데 지주게 첨보래 제 뭐다 땅 못해.
So first, of course, very important, give rise to bodhicitta in our mind stream. And then there are things we can do every day to enhance this. So This is probably quite easy to do, I would think. In the morning, as soon as you wake up, you can imagine above your head Chenrezi, inseparable from the root Lama. And you can just call this to your mind instantaneously. You can do it instantly. It doesn't take time. You don't need to recite anything. And think in the presence of the Lama inseparable from Chenrezi, today I'm going to use my body, speech, and mind. I'm going to make sure that I don't use my body, speech, and mind to harm any sentient being whatsoever. And I'm going to use my body, speech, and mind to accomplish the benefit of all sentient beings. So first in the morning, you give rise to this wish. And then throughout the day, you sort of check in to see how you're doing. You think that, in the morning I had this aspiration, so then you can go back and look to see. So what have I been doing today? Where is my mind right now? It's important to rely on these faculties of mindfulness, awareness, and caution. So, I said I'm not going to harm any sentient being with my body, speech, and mind. So look to see, and if you see errors, then correct them. So it doesn't take very long to do this practice in the morning, just 1, 2, or 3 minutes. And if you can then check in throughout the day, it would be very beneficial.
Geva Karasai, Ti Geva give it Tola Tene, and a darky, Tietang, Trap Tamjeto, Tanda Lojong Nala, Songba Naki, Dagi, Luigi, Semjen Tamjet, mentioned toward Shipper Hills. Nag Semjen Tamjet, mentioned toward Shipper Hills. Ye Semjen Tamjet, mentioned toward Shipper Hills. Tanaga, Dan Semjen Tamjet, didn't go down, Jab down, Resa. And then you're right, Rene, Gonjab Rene, Junatang. Then Semjin Kunjike, Rabatang Dopa Kangyoba, there Tamjet Dake in it, the Kong never horses. And the Dane and the Semjin Tamjet, Be Ravantan Dopa, Kongwala, Be Hinge Norutabu. And you're right, horse. Or that, those in the Yatini, Molam Yangne, Yangdu, and the Tabaina, called Molam Tang, Wawasa Jute.
Then, whatever Dharma practice, whatever practice of the genuine Dharma we engage in, whether it's listening, reflecting, or meditating, whatever it may be, of course there's virtue that comes from this, and we should dedicate or make aspiration prayers about this virtue for the benefit of all sentient beings, that it serves to be of benefit to all sentient beings. Think like this. Think, by virtue of this virtue, on account of this virtue, in all my lifetimes and all my existences, may I use my body to ripen all sentient beings. In all my existences, may I use my speech to ripen sentient beings. May I use my mind to ripen all sentient beings. For all sentient beings, may I be able to be a protector for them. May I be able to fulfill all their hopes. For all sentient beings, whatever wishes or desires they have, may I be able to fulfill them. For all sentient beings, may I be like a wish-fulfilling jewel that can give them anything that they need. So if we can make aspiration prayers like this and dedicate the merit again and again, there will be great benefit from this.
투삼 럽종 제거나 두소 망보 에 야tin 동고레스 다 장줍 셈베기 때문에 상계 지송 특바침보 장줍 셈기 빅소당 셈기 빅 폐용 셈기 랍자 대탐제 노르드네 닝보자고 에 두샤바게 에다 땡주지 왕도잖아 아니 다데 자하르게 때데 캐럽 쳔보 아니 샨디 대와 송 아니 전주 Bodhisattva avatara. That is Hagania, Jepetslap Chambotang, 아니야 장접 세베게티네 대노지 닝보 차당 디낭 창비어레 대동아도 따탄다 제 인지게 돌아 요래 두두두가나서 아니 제 롭종당 대도 양내양도 로트나 아니 샘나 히다게 펜바이 요래 다양 즉 존죽 다부 대대스 야체 댕삽 디그 돈다 키라에네 고깔레 카보틴데 유나양 다양 디장 닝보 다부데 아니 가나서다 제 자세 라렌 소드 마타부 카장데와 자세 라렌 소드도와 근데 키라 약보레다 장줍 셈베게 냠레 탐제 다 아니야 닝보 냠레 탐제 아니야 근데 다 돈세 ene sumju sobdo nangla duine ene tene kodebo ochene songxia pachire hita semna pendo chembo yore yarse lalen sodo ma tere ene lojong tondo ma lojong hita pendo chembo peyon chembore 장주 sembe lapcha chasangta lojong tondo nangla yang changde yore da lojong de nangne jang ge chegyude da dahin jebe keden ba 동네 집에 봐 동네 집냠네 다 뒤낭상도 열었어. 어다 대소 kenzo 두둔도 네. 저랑서 개당 에네 양냠도 에네 참참 냠네 낭도 다제 로종 돈도 마당 어디네 저기 다 야세 라렌 소도 마당 아니 야셔산 제나 뜨네 조조 대소 에네 탁부 타디엔스 대소 에네 로종 제나 다 장주 셈비게 랍자당 에네 야 뜨네 가데 디 돈다 차당 땡주 대주 낭라 창데 요레스.
So now over the past day or so, over a pretty short period of time, we've gone over the means to generate bodhicitta and some of the advice for engaging in the conduct of bodhicitta. So the Bhagavan Buddha himself, he gave a great many teachings about the bodhisattva conduct. Of course, these are very vast, and in order to study all of them, they're quite vast and large in number. To study all of this would take a very long time. But within all of this literature, we have the words of the Buddha himself in terms of the Mahayana view and conduct and practice of bodhicitta. And in these texts, it talks about, again, how to give rise to bodhicitta, the benefits of bodhicitta, and the advice for keeping bodhicitta. I didn't start the sentence right. All of the teachings that the Buddha gave about the Mahayana attitude, including bodhicitta, including the way to give rise to bodhicitta, the benefits, and the advice for keeping the bodhicitta, the essence for all of these can be found in the commentary by the great scholar and Siddha Shantideva. So his work is the Bodhicharya Avatara. The English word is maybe something like, English title is something like Entering the Conduct or Entering the Way of the Bodhisattva, published under different names. So all of the essential points of bodhisattva practice are contained within this text. It's been translated into English, so those of you with the interest can get this book and study these teachings. And if you do so, I'm very certain that it will be of great benefit to your minds. However, if this seems like too much, if this text itself is too long, there are shorter versions as well. For example, we say that the essence of the bodhisattva conduct is contained in the text called the 37 Practices of a Bodhisattva. So here it talks about in 37 short points, various things we can reflect on and incorporate into our lives, which are all about bodhisattva conduct. It's quite easy to understand and of great benefit. Further, we have the mind training teachings, the 7-point mind training teachings. And again, within this tradition, all of the essential advice for bodhisattva practice is complete. And within these 7 points, the main point, the most beneficial thing, is this exchanging self for others. This comes down to the practice of taking and sending. So this is another thing that you can do. So I want to encourage you to study these, whether it's individually or as a group. You can study the mind training teachings, and I know some of you are. You can study the 37 practices of the Bodhisattva, and I know some of you are, as well as these teachings of the entering the conduct of the Bodhisattva. There's further the great commentary called The Jewel Ornament of Liberation by Gampopa. All of these contain advice for engaging in bodhisattva conduct. So I encourage you to look into these.
전족 때 다 히타게 있는 자가나라 다 장주 셈비기트네 랍자 돈베게트네 땡주 딱게다 체규지레 원자 체규지레 안다 전족 때 양배 야천보다 저기 고카보 땡사보 요레 가게살 다데잖아 레우 당보데 다 장줍쌤 폐용 때 말해 장줍쌤 세규 끼바이나 다들 폐용 가려 다낭한도 히에다바 나게 장줍쌤 폐용 다 장줍쌤 끼 산마타도 다 장줍쌤 말해 이게 너르다 버래 장줍쌤 때문에 전에 에네 된다 쌤게 녀몽 동아 탐제 녀몽 탐제 세버제 베게 메다 초도 줄 말해 메 될라 박바 메 된데 토네 아니 장줍쌤 베게 때네 폐용 때네 아니 폐용 때는 간도 투도나 아니 장줍쌤라랑 게 간도 대바당 아니 좁아 게그레스 대체 레우 당보데 다든 레우 니바당 순바디게 다 장줍쌤 비게 돈바데 간데 랭고도 돈바 렘버제 발라 당보 소 사고요레 드바 장고요레 대송다드네 소사 드장 게렘바 데네 샤바 쪼보르 줄베게 아니 야나 덤바테도 또마 예바 진짜 송요레스 다드네 레우니바트 숨바테도 다드네 레우시바데 무수 드네 몸베게 샘당 죽베게 덤바테 렘베게 데네 솔 아니 송요레스.
The Bodhicharyavatara is amongst the texts in India about bodhisattva training. This is the most wondrous and the most famous work. So it's true, parts of it are quite difficult to understand. It's incredibly profound in points. But to give you an overview, the first chapter is about the benefits of bodhicitta. If we're going to give rise to bodhicitta, if we want to give rise to bodhicitta, understanding the benefits is very beneficial because it will give us enthusiasm to give rise to this bodhicitta. In there it talks about how you give rise to it. It talks about once you do, you're immediately a bodhisattva. It tells you that this bodhicitta is like a wish-fulfilling jewel. It tells you that bodhicitta is the principal way to clear away these afflictions of the mind. It's like the best medicine to remedy the afflictions of the mind. So this first chapter is about teaching you the benefits of bodhicitta. The second and third chapters talk about the vow of the bodhisattva. It tells you how you take the vow, and it says that initially, before you take the vow, you have to accumulate a lot of merit and you need to purify obscurations. The principal means through which you do this is confession, and also in the context of, so you have confession as the principal means, but also the 7-branch prayer. So it's a very extensive presentation about all of this. Then in the fourth chapter, it talks about how you actually engage in this aspiration and application bodhicitta, how you generate the aspiration in your mind, and how you engage in the actions of bodhisattva conduct.
다드네 레우 히와당 레우 ngawatige dine 바유 당 희희니 인 땡요 다 장주 셈베기 돈바테 랑타도 다데 마냥 바송고 요레 에네 데 냠네 제고레 다 냠네 제당데 가르스는 또 셈데 바유스도 삽삽게 베톤다레 희희스도 때 양내 양도 전희 셈베 깨자레 에네 다 바유 당 에네 야드네 전희 셈베게 에네 레우니 송 다드네 디제라 드네 소백 레우 때 히라게 야든 팬도 쳔보 당아주 제네 소바세야데 동아 탐제배 당도 렘바 노발라 이네 캐지 말세 수 노바지게도 나다데 노발라 배 직다메바 노질 제메냥 바스 노발라 가르 배 소토바 동아 탐제 당도 렘토베 토바 다도 소바 그래서 소베 남자한테 네 야보지 만제나 안 시다게 네 드는 샘라 팬도 쳔보 요레스.
So the next two chapters are about caution in terms of your conduct and applying awareness or mindfulness in your practice. So once you've taken the vow, of course you need to protect that vow and you need to put that vow into practice. When we talk about caution, this means being careful in your conduct, being careful in your life. And when we talk about this awareness, this means being mindful about what's happening in your mind at all times. Then the next chapter is about forbearance or patience. And this chapter is incredibly beneficial. It talks about how we can willingly or with enthusiasm take upon suffering, how we cannot shrink away from suffering, how we can come to not have fear towards that which harms us. So there's a great amount of good advice in here about willingly taking on suffering and developing a mind that's able to do that.
No, yeah. That is Jesus saying, that's on to dang, then something dang heat up, ngawase, that can the live in it in the chu, song yore, that live chu nang the tanang, Shibanagi, Nang to Jundu, and the code they you, Pendo che yun, tanang a kong to Shibanagi, the soba tang, payo tang, tegi, the tongue to young jail tabayana, Samla, Kirak, Pabachambo, younger.
So following this, we have I didn't make my mark where my notes stopped. So following this, we have the chapters on joyful application, or sometimes translated as diligence. We have the chapters on stability of mind, or samadhi, and then prajna, or this discerning intelligence, and then finally a chapter on dedication. So it's really important that we continually apply these teachings, that if we do so, then there's definitely going to be great benefit that will come from it. So over these couple sessions, I've been able to share sort of the main points of these with you. We talked a little bit about patience, or forbearance, and mindfulness, etc., caution. So if you again and again can apply these, I'm certain there will be great benefit from that practice.
Oh yeah, nguihi chushi tagarang tamsha giwi ngandu kama chuchi gom and tijele tuzo samate trabatele and kama chuti nangla tahinga hubanagi ta dunji namgala and zajuji lama yedam and sangje changsem tamje ngozum hyoyu samache tatila ngarang ki lu nga ye sum gewe sabata cheba tamje ene ta kyang nambato da puwai sambata dendeke ene samlo tangne ene ta ene semje tamje ji donde ene nga sangje ji kombang boche ene nyoto tabarchagi ene te tabarchabi ki donde ene nge lu nga ye sum ene changjup ji choba la ene ta labge nyamba tati monjuk changjup sem kebeke mikba ta goms ta mikba goms na ta tine mikba na nga to changjup sebeke domba top yore tuje anti jesu ane ya tongle ki mikba ane ya ta ane ya kama khache nang tanang hyuba na ke tin ti jela ane sem korang maju ba des ngal so ne tume ta tuba me ba je ne ane yang sem korang ke rangwap la ane tet nyambar sha nang.
So with that, we'll conclude the main presentation for this session. And now we're going to have meditation for 10 minutes or so. And we can use the remainder of the time for questions and discussion. So for this session of meditation, why don't we do what we just spoke about? So that is, in the sky before you, imagine that they're the root and the lineage gurus. Imagine the Yidam, the Buddhas, and the Bodhisattvas are all present very clearly. Imagine that you offer your body, speech, and mind, along with any virtue you've ever accumulated. You offer that to them. And then you make this wish. You basically take the Bodhisattva vow in their presence. You think that for the benefit of all sentient beings, I must attain Buddhahood very quickly, so Aspiration Bodhichitta. And to that end, in order to do that, I'm going to use my body, speech, and mind to engage in Bodhisattva conduct. So with this, both the aspiration and application vows of the Bodhisattva vow are complete. And then we'll do this first, and then you can do the meditation of taking and sending, like we spoke about in the morning. Do this for a few minutes. And then at the end, after you've done that for a bit, just let your mind rest without altering it. Just let go of all effort, try and let the mind rest as it is, and we'll do that meditation for a few minutes as well. So move through these at your own pace.
Bodhisattva,
Thank you. So if you have any questions, ask away.
Rinpoche, thank you. I have a quick question, I believe. It will require only a quick answer. The last book or text to which you referred, I didn't quite catch the title. Was that Shantideva's text, or was it a different one?
The Bodhicharyavatara, or entering the way of the Bodhisattva, came first, but then the last one, I think, was the jewel ornament of liberation. So either the jewel ornament of liberation or entering the path of the Bodhisattva.
You spoke of impairing the vow, but you did not speak of repairing the vow. Can you speak of repairing the vow? What needs to be done to do that?
Tadi yapo mare sambache. Te lamzang yang ene tagin nangke dine. Ene semje tamje tondo. Tange namje dobe sanje kumbang tobra chagi. Te tagin nangke chen ene changdu semke dombache yangja langna khatu sares.
That was very easy. When you notice that you've done something to impair the vow, recognize that you've impaired the vow, give rise to regret. Oh, what I've done is not good. And then just like we spoke of before, you repair it the same way you took it in the first place. You imagine those beings in the sky before you. You think, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I must attain Buddhahood, etc. And by retaking the vow, having noticed your mistake and giving rise to regret and knowing that it's bad, that's how you restore it, just by taking it again.
Yes, I did have a question. The one holding the mic had the question. This morning, you mentioned the method to deal with afflictions, and you talked of the 3 ways: abandon, transform, recognize. And just before break, you talked about the abandon and employing antidotes. Can you talk about transforming?
Gyurwata hiba. Nyomong gyur setu. Tanda wa sanga ngana so re ta mangse sanga ke ne ya tine wang hyu yidam nyamne nang tharbar ta he ne kebar mendo. Ta nyomong gyur se at karese na. Nyomong khongro takpo se ne ya te himbi kapsu ane khongro lamsang ane ya jarwa re ngai ke nang ne ane mejo be ke ane tin namba la gyor kores mejo be lai ke namba nyomong tai hyadang che himbe ti ke ane ya hyadang che ke ba khorang ane la mejo ba jarwa re ngai nang ne mejo be namba koi ke ane namba tin lam kala jordan ne en ti tholo ya kores a nyomong dosa hyu trapo che ne ya ni che chungna en docha korange ene tin ngo te lamsang ana sangje nawa thayeke ene koe ke nabal lam ka dior kores ta te ke do ene ya nyomong tonga te ene jarwa re ngai ke tine kui nabala ya tine ka sal watela tine nyomong ene ya tine jorwa hipik to bare tango te so.
So there are different ways to speak about transformation. One way is in the context of the secret mantrayana. So most of you have received empowerment and practiced this, so seems okay to say. Let's say, for example, strong anger arises in one's mind. So as soon as you notice this, you imagine that that anger itself is transformed into one of the 5 families of Buddha. So in this case, the Buddha Akshobhya. So you imagine this anger itself taking the form of Akshobhya, and you rest your mind on this form of Akshobhya. So your anger has been transformed into one of the 5 Buddhas, one of the Buddhas of the 5 families. And similarly, if strong desire or attachment arises in your mind stream, you imagine that this desire or attachment arises as Amitabha. So the essence of this desire or attachment is Amitabha. You imagine it changing into Amitabha, and you place your mind on that. So for any one of these 5 afflictions, they can turn into or arise as one of the 5 Buddhas, and meditating in this way is one way to do transformation.
Ta nyomong hi se de karesena ta nyomong hyadang trapoche ne kebe ne kabla ani hyadang ji sumando hyadang khorang ke ne rangola ani ta tsechek do ne ya hyadang khorang ke rango rangla hyada samno tan ma tang hyadang khorang ke rangola ani chere ani ya tsechek do ne nyambar hya tu ku yores de nyambar hya topa ina ani hyadang ke ngote and nyomong tok ngai ge nang ne and melong tabu hi sikyu and take and rangel chan yores o ta na ye ne nyomong doja takpo chi ba na ti ngol and ya tin nyambar sha to ba ina and so sort of hi se yang hi ngal nyomong ngaboti hi ngal and to se and ya tin ta ngo hi ku yores.
For what did I say? Probably recognizing the afflictions. The way you work with this is as follows. Let's say strong anger arises in your mind stream. So first, don't get caught up in the anger. Don't sort of follow the anger. But rest your mind in the very essence of that anger itself. No other thought than looking nakedly and directly into that anger. And then once you're able, what can happen is that anger will actually arise as one of the 5 wisdoms. So in this case, that anger will arise as, or will be revealed as, mirror-like wisdom. So each of the afflictions has a certain wisdom associated with them. So another example is if strong desire or attachment arises in your mind, you don't follow, get caught up in that attachment or desire, you look nakedly into its essence, and what can happen is discriminating wisdom, the discriminating wisdom inherent in that desirous attachment can arise. So in this way we can use the 5 afflictions to realize or see the 5 wisdoms.
Ta nyomong pangbati ma ji tanang kare ta do tu chik ta he bai anti ta nyomong pangbati la anda nyembo tembik tondare ne nyomong dosa hyuk chapo ke bai na ta medok pa se kyute gom ju ke chembores medok pa ye du meong pa tene ye du meong pa ene gom pa ye do cha se at kare na ye do wa che la cha de yor ba pena ngana so ki pa su ke pme ye do wa che tong de en tel cha de yor pme nam je ke ki pa ye do wa pen ze bo che ene tong de lam sang tel ya cha ba je yor tenda song da tene ti cha ba tel la tene en tengen ze gom tu ku ma de ti tok do de cha ba tel ten tenda song da en dan da chong juk nang la sam den liu di nang ta che en ya medok pa gomjul ke ten nam kya mang po song yores medok pa gom ta te che nyomong kar te che dar pang bi ke en ten sores ta te medok pa gom bi ke chol de pena en ya ta tingen de gom bar che pa la sem he kor he ba be he ba te he ba yong na en te he ba gom bar che pa la chak pa se ju ten da cha se ju ti ke ani 다티게 in the Nyomong Tone and the Gomtan took him. This on that in the middle of Gomjuti, Nyambote, Vacation body, this on that, and it's a Kipatsuke in the Pumeki, Lude, and the Yata, Metang Patang, yet the Meongpe, Nambala in a tin, Journey Gomkuyore. And permit I was again in the Yatin Kibala Chatun, Kibik Lute, Medok Patang, yet the Meong Patang, Metangpe, Rangila Gomkuyore, Salkuyore, Telatene and a Chakbik lot at Don. Telatene thing and they will come to be ordered. That the Nyomong in the Yap, Pangs to Pangdang the Nyambote, or Nyambote, and it took the Dosha get Nyambo Medopa Gomba, Shadang get Nyambo, and Chamba, Tang Ninja, Gombat, that you there today. And you're there at the time, he said.
And just to recap or to speak about abandoning the afflictions in another way, basically when we talk about abandoning, we mean applying an antidote to rid ourselves of the affliction. So the antidote for the certain affliction, say for example, desirous attachment, would be to meditate on the unfavorable or the disgusting or the impure qualities of that to which you're attached. So we're attached to things that are pleasing to our mind or captivating to our mind. So if you're a man, maybe you're attracted to a woman. If you're a woman, maybe you're attracted to a man. And other things are possible too. A woman can be attracted to a woman, man to a man. Whatever it is that your mind is attracted to, especially in the case when it's a sexual desire, they have this teaching of contemplating the body, but not like the superficial appearance of the body, but like what's really inside the body. So you imagine opening it up and seeing what it's made of. And none of those things are we attached to or will we be drawn to. So this serves as an antidote to the affliction of desire. And so why is this important? So this is talked about quite extensively in the chapter on mental stability and entering the life or entering the way of a bodhisattva. It talks about meditating on the unpleasing aspects of phenomena, certain phenomena, to reverse our attachment. So this is important because if we want our minds to rest in samadhi, we need for there to be some degree of peacefulness within the mind. And whenever there are afflictions in the mind is not at peace, so it's going to disrupt or make it impossible to meditate on samadhi. That's why doing these contemplations of things that are unpleasant about whatever we're attracted to are beneficial. So again, we say that the antidote to attachment is meditating on the impure qualities of something. We say that the antidote to anger is loving kindness and compassion. And again, in terms of abandoning the afflictions, we use antidotes, and these are the kind of antidotes we use.
다 범에 sol라 송요래 범에 길루 네테넴 다 메탕바다 메독바 임비케 곰쿠빅 sol 망보 송요래 송바텔라 때는 당당 나도 범에 망고 저다 샹디 때와 미 켄사지도 즉 범에 히다 녀죠 해도 그래봐 근데 전족도 하고 뭐도 근데 삼주당 현게 요르스 근데 말했어 네테 히야 돼 대갑라 샹데 데베 송사테 나도 데 gelung sola 송요르스 gelung sola 테네 야테네 gelung 소게 네다고 기반다고 제 기바에네 데네 gelung 몽스 송요르 데 몽스게 네 야테네 즉 범에라네 차도나 다티네 범에데 루에 메당 바레스 송사테 네 야테 두자테 또 있는 가도 랍도 총마 소라 송요르스 딜은 마도게 아니 저당게 네야고 직대 제단계 기바 포모이나데 펜도 니자게 네 루트 메당바 공고르 단다데 전적 송사 또 범에가 송사데 근데 그 누자데 또 랍도 중화솔라 송바 인상 데레스 데 살게 정하 휴닝도 송스.
So I want to make one more point connected to this that gets misunderstood sometimes. So within the text, the Bodhicharyavatara by Shantideva, when it talks about meditating on the impure aspects of things that we're drawn to, it's mainly talking about the impure aspects of women. So, but why is this? This is because when he gave this teaching, when he extemporaneously gave this teaching, he was giving it to an assembly of fully ordained monks. So, given the time and the place, the logical example to posit was a woman, because that was what most likely was going to be attracting or, captivating the minds of his audience. But as I said in the teaching that I gave, it's not saying that women are impure. Some people see this teaching and they think, oh, Shantideva is a misogynist, he's disparaging women. But he just gave that example because of the audience he was teaching. So it means whatever you're attracted to. Women, if they're attracted to men, they should meditate on the disgusting aspects of the man's body. Women attracted to women, meditate on the women's body, just like this. Whatever you're attracted to, that's what you would meditate on. So don't have wrong views about Shantideva in this context.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask about if one takes the Bodhisattva vow and or aspires to take other lay or even ordained vows, including not to kill. I'm having a really hard time. I feel like my body does not want to be vegetarian. My body really desires meat and seems to work better when I'm eating meat. It just functions better. Yet I also am concerned about that. I feel like I'm breaking the vow every time I eat meat. Then again, I also consider that I have little sugar ants in my home, and I accidentally kill them a lot. And in that case, I'm not intending to. When I drive my car, insects get hit against the windshield. And I guess I'm trying to understand, where do you draw the line? And how do I have to keep renewing my vows? Or how is it that I not violate the vows? Thank you.
다들 조금은 조라 레바레. 장샘 돈바 휴사네 아니 샤세나 딕바 요레 다이나야양 즉 수부게 있는 캄라 때네 마사 탐에 된다 연구요레 나랑니 찍바레 샤스 나 된다 데스 되네 이나양 다 가서 낭비 추디 나라양 샤이게 샤세나 딕바 요메게 되네 다 남자 특바 최종 망부 나라 라면다 송요레스 벤나 테라와트 년두 테라와트 단 스리랑카 당 아니 타일랜드 버마 다 데졸라티니 테라와트 시그레스 아니 콘주게 인야티니 데노게 낭도 아니 샤 세나 아니 야 니바 요 마레세 샤사 초레세 아니 송요레스 가이세나 상계지 나서 gelongso bikchu se yore bikchu se na longmo longne sangge res khala drin khala de mechela longmo longne tene ambol se dekine anti de longmo longne en ya tene khala sa ko longmo longe so la nga khala de sage in de sage me se the choice yo mares Me got it is on the Yaji Tez on the Sagores, and the Hamage Ten the Sagores. There's on that, and Shasena, that I would near by your mares. In a yanta, Naranke in the Savic Chedu, and the same jet Mexicane, say, and T. Shasena, that the pet Dipache. Dipache, same jet peneb, that Lango Daboche, Naranke, Sayak Chedu, and that same jet say Kudos, Shandal said joke, T. Shasena, that Pemet Dipache More, that chance to be done by Yamgades, Yamgade. 다이나양 남숨 다바세 때 현다게 저 처음 다고 다 현다게 저 용한 다고 매 현다게 다가세 있는 힐라푸네 저 용한 다고 아니 야저 처음 나네 있는 데 샤뉴네 있는 데야 사발아 속바 대도이나 다치 땅 득바 여다 여레스 얘네 데 득바 총거래 양 장주 세비게 돈바 냠다 냠게 말했어 득바 여레스 냠게 말했어 안 결랑 다다세더라 나한테네 이야 토말 깨사 다 녹바세야 되고 샘지 코나 때는 마도 hin가세야 단 요 말았어 흰 줄라 소바 섭지 뭐 소바 흰도 가까이 요 말았어 되네 녹바세 샘지 둔도 코나 때는 살 요랬어 다 뒤가라 샤샤다 사그랬어 오마 말 추라 샤 테랑데스 칼라 때마도 요 말았어 녜롱바 다 뒤 곰히지 왕게 다다 에네야 샤 사그 요랬어 and Dipa Yavata, you're at the Inata Changusim Dombarang, that Yamrang, that Yamga Mares, dying a Hupanake, Tange, Chetungan and Arangi Tonda la in the Megne, Semje said, Tishas and Dipachamo Shetade, Katapchambore, the check. That in the Semje Jumbo Troma la Sopatezo, that Chetungan the Kondochin, the Tromating no Pasheta Chido Sam, the Kondochin, and Tabane, the Tabene Yatus Mavasusen, and Dipachambo Yoris. 다양 랑히 제 강비 홀 침바도 모타 땅내 에네 침비 강비 홀 모타 땅내 에네 셈제 세발라 소파데 고 하마 거라 봐 마히 바래 어때 즉 봤다 충거래서 히다다 된 하마 고 바이나네 거다 되네네 득바 요 말에서 난 되게 봐 어도 그래
So principally, these questions rely on motivation. Okay? So, if you've taken the Bodhisattva vow and you eat meat, so from one perspective, we can say there's some degree of negative action involved in that. However, for some people, due to their physical constitution, there's no way for them to not eat meat. Their body just can't handle it. So some people don't have any choice but to eat some meat, and I am like you. I also eat meat from time to time. So is there some degree of misdeed involved in eating meat? Yes. There are different actually attitudes within the Buddhist teachings on this. So from the perspective of the different vehicles, there are differing views. So let's talk first about the Theravada vehicle. So these are the sort of foundational teachings of the Buddha, the way it's practiced in Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma. So the way that they get their food comes from the teachings, the basic teachings of the Buddha, and that is to say, they go with their alms bowls and they beg. They beg for their daily food. They go to a house, and whatever that person gives them, they eat. They don't go and get to choose what they're going to get. They don't go to the door and say, I'm vegetarian or I'm not vegetarian. Right? So for fully ordained monks, it was like this. They eat whatever they're given. Therefore, in that tradition, there's nothing in their proscribed vows or their conduct that says you don't eat meat, because you eat what you're given. So, whatever you're given, you eat it, whether there was no such thing as being vegetarian at that time for that reason. So, it's one thing to eat meat, and it's another thing to you yourself kill an animal for the purpose of eating it, we say. So we say that's the greatest, in terms of this teaching or this topic, the greatest thing is to kill an animal for your own food directly, even to ask another to do that directly. And we say that if you do this, then this will impair the Bodhisattva vow. However, if you're given meat to eat by somebody else, and even if you buy it, like from somewhere in the village or the store, it said, okay, there is some degree of negative action in doing so, but it's not going to break your bodhisattva vow. Like where I come from in Tibet, my family, the people in my area were all nomads. And Rinpoche didn't say this, but where he lives in Tibet, nothing grows. Like literally just little pieces of grass. It's amazing the animals even survive. So they have to depend on the animals for food. So they eat meat, they use the cheese, they make cheese with the milk, they make curd, etc. So their livelihood depends, their sustenance depends upon these animals. So there's no way for people in such circumstances to not eat meat. It just won't work. And for people who are born or have this in their genes, it's very difficult for them to not eat meat whatsoever. So is there some negative action involved? Yes, okay, but it doesn't break the bodhisattva vow to do so. In terms of the ants and other insects, so if there's no intention to kill them, if they just happen to walk under your foot or you're wiping the counter and you kill some, then we don't say that impairs the bodhisattva vow because there's no intention to kill them. Now, is there some negative action? Like if you really don't know you did it whatsoever, then probably not. So it really works upon what you're aware of and what your motivation is. Those are the most important things. But like when we walk somewhere and step on things, when we drive, things do get killed. And again, the degree to which it is a negative action for us depends upon what to say. I guess how much we're aware of it, or it's also just maybe it's unavoidable to some degree to create some negative karma in this situation.
Transforming afflictions, and you mentioned that anger transformed becomes mirror-like wisdom. And this seems to imply two things in my mind. The first is a certain intent to make that happen, and the second is there must be some kind of experience of mirror-like wisdom, and I'm wondering if Rinpoche could say something about that.
And that Hedang Jimbi Kabla, Hedang Korang Machupa, and ya Tanahi, and ya Hedang Korang Ngo, the Machupa, the Ngola, Nyambar Hapa, Nyambar Hane, and Tea Kabke, and Hedang Ngo Te, Melong Tabu Igires, Mado, Ta Hedang Te Ngo La Tene, Hedang the Parha, and the Melong Igis at the sword and the Sard Hars, Tindikaja Mares. Hedang Korang in Ngo Chere Tene, and Tea Tebin Nekapsu, Hedang Ngo Hipa Tela, Melong Tabu Igis, Shagres. Tana Sharki Meadows and a young Tindixi Revachene in a Tanga, Melong Tabu Igis Kodo, Telate the Hedang Chiago. Some today to Mango Soga did that today, young Maris. Go Rangi in a hop the column, Michigan Tene, Hedanki, Netini, Hedanki jail, Manta watch and Hedan Korango, Chereta, and Titepic Ngote, and Hed Ngo, Sam Ngo, Coronel Ngoshi Patella, Melon the way he said.
So if we, when this anger arises, if we can not try and change it, but rest in its very essence, and we have to have the intention to do that, right? Rest in its very essence, we can come to see that that anger itself is actually mere like wisdom. It's not like the anger is then like cast off to the side and then this mere like wisdom is going to come from somewhere else. This mere like wisdom is actually the very nature of the anger. And in order to realize this, we just have to work to come to recognize the very essence of anger. So maybe it's difficult for us to see this, and it doesn't mean that if we have the desire to train in it, we shouldn't go around trying to make ourselves angry to then look into the anger. But whenever this anger does arise, if we can look into its essence, look nakedly and rest right within that, at some point we can recognize that the very essence of anger is mere like wisdom. I don't know if we got to your question, but do you want to say something?
I just wonder if Rinpoche could say, maybe it's not possible, but what would the experience of mirror-like wisdom, what would that look like?
Sorwa te ta hedang ngo la te ne hedang ko mar he ne ten sem korang ge rang hin kang ya ba ti thola lep ne nyam ba ya ba til se de oh oh cheju de melong ta ba yi ze de ta bena sem korang ge ne lok de ene ya 내로 강연 받대 에네야 근데 당신 샤르용와 배나 멜롱 나라 에네 송예 샤르용으로 봐 송예 샤르 받대 나게 에네 샘 코랑게 내로 강연 받대 에네 내로 코랑 에네 단도나 샘 코랑게 나라야 샤르용와 또용와 다 쳐버려 대 또용와 들을 다 멜롱 따버스 거 빼려 봐 근데
So again, it comes about by just resting in the essence. Then the anger itself, the feeling of anger that we all know is gone, and then this aspect of wisdom arises in the mind. And if we wonder what this wisdom it's like, so reflections arise in a mirror, and then like in the mirror of the mind, the essence of the mind, the reflection of the essence of the reflection of the nature of the mind arises from within that space. So it's just an example, and that's what he said about it.
that Khenpo yorite melong tabu se yang che sarwa che thong ya da ke yo ma de da yi hedang ke himbe ke ngo te par he ne ti sabla sem khorang rang hi ne tne lene ma mudra cha ja che mungang la lab yong wa ta te la melong tabu hi se de ti ke che mo ro ti tek de.
This is very important. The word mirror-like is very important. So what this means is that within the very essence of this anger that has arisen, the very nature of mind, that is the resplendence of Mahamudra, is going to come from within that. So it's like a reflection within that.
Rinpoche, you mentioned merit a couple of times today, and at least in English, the language that we use when we discuss merit can often make it feel like almost as though it's a physical object. We want to accumulate it and store it up. We need to worry about losing it. We can offer it. And sometimes I can feel like it's as though we're spiritual bankers, keeping a little ledger. 3 to the positive, -1 to the negative. And when I fall into this mindset, I think I have a very small view of what merit is and what it's meant to contribute to our path. And Rinpoche, I'm wondering if you can offer some advice about the proper view to hold in relation to the idea of merit.
some the not so catch shade do sonam second the ngopo jopare. Sok sabure. Ngopo mambo sagara. And that's the sok the yar puchogre. Just on the ngopo jopare. Yine nge samla chichena the sonam second the sok second the yapo machine don't have yapo shingin. Sok second the tsene karade and the penyon karade, pecho karade.
오다 초 사세데 단도나 개비게 누보죠 세게 개와 간주 이 야트니 공조 숨라 맥네 아니 차 살고요래 될 초사래서 다 차 살나 아니 다 차사나 공조 코나라다 팽이 말했어 소소 이 야트니 류지고 네 딕딕 망보 다 누구요와 인상 아니 될 때네 이 개와 톱고요래 다디 개와도 초스 양아도 이 야트니 공조라 맥네 다부당 매도라 소백고 망보치 야 푸고요래서 푸네 공조 코나라 네 푸나마부 개발게요 말 희게는 말했어 그러와 얘는 가능수 그쌤 당위기 토네 야 푸고요래서 가이스는 가능수도 쌤 진낭라 녀몽 셋나세야지요래서 녀몽 셋나 아니 셋니게 네 녀보 라 아니 다 무보테 바 땅고요래서 땅사들 니요래서 땅지율 야 고조 맥네네 야 초바푸야 직다 샘젠라 맥네 진바땅야 지요래 다 고조라 맥네 야 초바푸야데 초사시레 샘젠라 맥네 진바똥야데 초사시로 단도나 티 페용들 요래 페용들 티 초소야 세요 다 들으면 다 셰 고셰나 옛날다 망보 요래 봐.
So in general, what we're talking about here is virtue, engaging in virtue. Merit can be said to be virtuous acts. So we can visualize the three jewels and do prostrations. We say that through doing these prostrations, we accumulate merit. Now, this doesn't benefit the three jewels, right? When we're doing prostrations to them, what does it do for them? But it accumulates merit for us, we say. Why is that? Because now we're using our body to do things because of the visualization and the attitudes we're holding that are going to lessen or eradicate our previous misdeeds and obscurations. So based upon, since this is happening, we call it virtue, or we say we're accumulating merit. Sometimes also we make offerings to the three jewels, whether it's of incense or flowers or whatever it may be. And again, in terms of the three jewels from their side, it doesn't make any difference to them from one perspective. I mean, they're not actually taking and partaking of the offerings we make to them. But what does it do for us? We, through this very pure mind, like recognizing their qualities, we are giving things, we're using things that are ours to undermine this affliction of stinginess. So it works as an antidote to our affliction of stinginess. So through giving things that we possess, we are working to decrease our afflictions. Also, when we give things, and through doing this, we accumulate merit. Another thing that we can do in terms of giving is, we talk about it in two ways in Tibetan. We say, Chupa is making offerings to those esteemed beings, those we consider higher than us, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, teachers, the three jewels. That's giving to those that we respect. We can say offering for that maybe. And then when we give things to maybe when we give like clothes or food to beggars, we don't call this offer. It's a different word in Tibetan. In English, it's still an offering, so it doesn't work well. But let's say giving. Let's say offering and giving. So giving is giving things to others, other beings that are sort of equal or in an inferior state from us. And through both of these, again, we are giving away things and sort of undermining our affliction of stinginess and also showing appreciation to the qualities of enlightenment. And through this has an effect, a positive effect on our mind, and so we say through this we accumulate merit. So there's a lot we could say about merit, but maybe this is enough for now. One more.
Thank you, Rinpoche. This is a variation, I suppose, on the sugar ant question, and has to do with harm. So when I pay my taxes, a great deal of that money goes to the military system, and that's a system that has a great deal of equipment and personnel, and some of their actions are violent, and some of that violence is perpetrated on people who are innocent. For example, a drone attack on a wedding party somewhere. So my question is, what is my complicity in that harm? How do I mitigate that harm? And I'm curious about sort of the Buddhist ethical perspective on that.
Adila di trail, shungla trail, trail.
제
trail mambo dune, consider not the trail mang chewa di mark, the defense la, the mark yap, mark chokla droga. Chala so, the mark mitan, and sometimes not to gi shungi, the bomb tangerwa, the shana kachilumba bomb tang. Sometimes the consugi mark me la segre, in sometimes me niepa mania, niepa samani yomere, so mark me marwa. In shola consul shigere. Jason di niepa di, nala pogirebe, Kadisana, nie pesha, consul nie pecha bechu tongue.
대포 말했어. 대포기 말했어.
Then diganla kadu lasola.
대포기 말했어. 형 체네 마테랑 데레스. 그 형체 템레스. 템데 컬고로 왔. 됐다 되네 애야. 템 거래 다데 배야 동게 대 형코랑 그랬어. 대 형코랑 게 애야. 형코랑 되고 보기로 왔. 막 당가 로동 때문에 막 못 나빠지는 형코랑 디 레제저들 되고 보기로 왔어.
So Rinpoche says that this, the effect of this killing of innocent people, etc., wouldn't come back to the individuals who paid the taxes, because you have no choice but to pay your taxes, and you don't get to decide exactly what's done with that money. So, and you're not deciding, which bombs to send where, etc. So the fault of those bombing and killing of people comes back to the people who make those decisions. So in that sense, you're not complicit in that action. You're not directly complicit in that action. So thank you, and we'll recite the prayers on page 7. Sonandi tamche zeba